Welcome back to The Good Talk, the show where we discuss what's hot, what's grot, and everything between in the wide world of Warhammer. We are here, waving to you from the couch to discuss the new terrain rules, which are very exciting. And of course, if you have any questions, lists, anything you want to talk about, send in those super chats, and we are here for as long as y'all want us to be. With that having been said, let's dive on in and talk about the new terrain rules, Bridger. What do you think about this?
I have mixed feelings.
Yeah.
I know Thursday we'd mentioned this was like our backup plan. I had hoped for a better article on Friday.
Yeah.
Last week, Friday article was weapons, right?
Yeah, it was a big deal.
That was a huge. And was there anything today or Friday? Did we even get a Warcom?
We got Dante with the beautiful one painted by Surrey but attributed to me. Good job, Surrey. It's great. But that's the thing. So this has been out for a couple days, so you've probably had a chance to like look at it. There's some interesting stuff, and then there's stuff that's like, yeah, cool, this is gonna stay the same, right?
Yeah. I think largely they're going for simpler terrain rules.
Yep.
I have a feeling that what we saw in the article, it can't be everything.
I mean, I hope obscuring is still a part of the game.
Right.
It feels like this is like kind of just missing that whole aspect.
You need something so that you can't just shoot from deployment zone to deployment zone.
Yeah.
And GW terrain all has windows in it.
Right.
And I don't want to go back to the era of house ruling terrain rules all the time. That's wrong. So hopefully there's something more to see. But let's take a look. Let's dive on in. What do we have here? Got some images.
Excellent. So basically what they do is they simplify, this is your favorite.
So stupid.
They simplify the keywords into kind of just different types of terrain, right? It's not like, oh, it has 5 different keywords and stuff.
Yeah.
It sounded like a sound system, but it just gets very complicated. So I actually want to talk about the bottom point here first, the benefit of cover.
Yeah.
Which notice they say just cover. They don't say light cover, they don't say heavy cover, they don't say
just
dense
cover,
cover.
which I like.
Just +1 save.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that, the extra details about that in a second.
Yeah.
So benefit of cover, great. Plunging fire. This is Bridger's favorite new rule. He's very excited about this. What this is basically if you are shooting from at least 6 inches above your target, then I think it has to be in a ruin.
And you're in a ruin.
And you're in a ruin.
It's a keyword on the ruin.
Well, you can't be, yeah, I guess, yeah, okay. Then you get +1 AP, which is cool. That's neat.
It's cute. 6 inches is a lot.
Yes.
I don't think they really thought through how much 6 inches is. Firstly, a lot of GW terrain has 5-inch floors.
Well, it's
So that means to get 6 inches above somebody, you need to spend a whole turn moving up 5 inches,
yeah,
and then a whole nother turn moving up 5 inches,
right,
unless you have fly or you started up there.
right.
Also, now you're on the 3rd story, or for you Brits, the
Second floor.
second. I don't know. You guys number things weird. Yes.
What do they call the first floor?
The ground floor,
Oh,
and then the above that is the 1st floor.
fancy.
They have zero-based counting, which normally I support zero-based counting, except when it's ingrained in my American brain to have 1-base counting.
Well, we start at the beginning and start at the prologue. Well, that's not true. We start at the prologue.
Anyway, you're now 2 stories above the ground, which is always a tiny little platform on GW terrain. If it even has a 3rd floor, it's small.
Yeah.
So I think 6 inches might have to get moved to 5 for it to be relevant on GW terrain.
I think it's deliberate because we have 5-inch vertical engagement, but I think it creates all these other issues that you've brought up. I think that's the problem.
If this is deliberate, it kind of makes me angry.
Like,
That's so far.
yeah, you can't
dude.
shoot down if they're right beneath you. Like that would make sense to me. I'd be fine if it was 5 inches because of that.
Right.
I assume that's, I don't know, it's kind
I
of weird.
think it should be 5. Look,
Yeah.
spending 2 turns to climb a building, unreasonable. I love that they're trying to get us to play with verticality.
Yeah.
For too long, Warhammer has been a flat game
Yes.
where you put models on top of buildings so that people can see them on stream, and that's the only reason you ever do it. I want models on top of buildings because it's cool. I don't want models to be a million miles up for it to be relevant, because that means you're never going to do it.
It also creates issues for their old terrain set, which I know is not a concern for them, but many people, including us, have the old ruins, which are 2 levels of 3. And so it's not a problem per se. It's easier to climb up compared to the new terrain, but But it actually makes for a fundamental different kind of play experience with the
Yes.
pieces of terrain. Whereas before, it's like, cool, the old set was a Florist 3. We have 3-inch like engagement, coherency, whatever. That all makes sense. So it was all cool. But now, if you're playing with the old runes versus the new runes, that's going to be a very different play experience.
It will, because it takes you 1 turn to get up to that 6 inches.
It's kind of weird.
What it should be.
Yeah.
Requiring players to take 2 turns of movement to get an incidental buff and not leave the building. A little too taxing.
It's a little strange. So
But it's cool. I like it.
I like the concept.
I like the idea.
Yeah, we'll see.
Now, let's go to the next one. We'll talk about cover.
All right, here we go. Woods. So notice, woods traditionally right now, dense terrain. They don't give light cover. They just give dense terrain, which is -1 to shoot if you're shooting into it or through it. Now, if you're shooting into it or through it, the target is just going to get cover.
Yep.
Just cover. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
And this is the only way that I've seen that you can get cover for shooting through something, which I think is cool. If you're behind the forest, you get cover.
Right.
You don't have to be in the forest. You can be behind the forest, you get cover.
Yeah,
And I like
exactly.
that. Also, this visibility thing, I'm not sure what this is leading into, but this whole giant paragraph
I'm nervous.
is just to tell you that you cannot fully see somebody who's in or behind a forest. Now, does this mean that there will be rules in the game that care about whether you can fully see a model?
I just hate the concept
we
of
going-
like fully
Are we
visible.
going back to that?
It's just like, oh, can you like get down?
Now my spear's behind the building. You can't see my spear.
I hate it. I would rather abstract it. You know.
Maybe fully visible is like you can see some part of every model in the squad. And now a forest says you can't.
Oh, maybe because you model from a modeling perspective, you're often just standing on a thing, and you really can see every part of every model. Especially because trees don't really matter.
Well, I'm hoping that they're just not counting the every part thing. It's that fully visible would be,
Yeah.
I can see some part of every model in the squad.
Yeah. Right.
So if you have one model behind a building, you're not fully visible. That's my hope.
right.
Because
simpler.
if they're getting to, can you see every part of every model? I'm not. All of my opponents can fully see everything, and I can never fully see anything. I don't care. Just move on.
Yeah.
Like, I'll give
Yeah.
you whatever. Just don't make me pull out a laser pointer. I won't do it. I won't. I don't care.
I think that's exactly right.
So that's forests.
That's for yeah. Let's move on from woods.
They haven't mentioned that forests are difficult terrain or slow you down or anything. So
Right. I hope they don't. I'm over it.
it's overly punishing for some armies
Yeah.
and doesn't affect other
And
armies.
it makes no sense. I've said this in so many games. Like, we can go through like bombed out buildings, broken glass,
Yep,
metal,
yep, yep,
radiation.
yep.
But a tree?
Can't go
A
through.
forest?
Can't.
No.
It's
It's kind of weird. So
these
I'm
are
on board with
40k
that.
trees, Adrian. They're grabbing out.
I guess if they've
get you.
survived to this point, like they're pretty
messed
gnarly,
up
the
trees.
trees. Anyways, let's take a look at the next
What's
one.
next?
Hills and sealed structures. This is another one that made me nervous.
Sealed structure.
It also deals with this fully visible thing, and it's kind of weird and awkward, and I'm nervous about it, I'll be honest. You can tell, look, we've been pretty positive, I will say, about 10th edition. But these terrain rules make us nervous because they are ill-defined and are subjective.
I just think we haven't seen all of it yet. I think they've
hope so.
shown us, like, this. Clearly, there's something to being visible. That must do something in the game.
Yeah.
We don't know what yet. But essentially, you get cover if you're behind a hill.
Mm-hmm.
Or a sealed structure, which I'm assuming means magic boxes are gone. A magic box is a sealed structure. You get cover for being behind it. You can never be in it.
Yeah.
Because it's sealed.
You know, they're showing the front terrace terrain, which when we built it, had to make specific decisions. We said, like, okay, every other window is going to be open so that if you're in it, you can still be seen. But that's not the way you don't have to build it that way. So they have to kind of create something for that,
Yep.
which is good.
That's hills
Yeah, that's
and
hills.
sealed structures. Cool.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, let's go to the next one. Debris.
This,
They've always had rules for scatter terrain.
Yeah.
I don't know why scatter terrain gives cover now.
I don't have a problem with it. I'm just not sure how relevant it will be. Because scatter is kind of a pain in the butt to play around. Like, when it has an when it has an effect on the game, it's kind of a pain.
Because now it's a game piece. You can't just move it around.
Exactly. So, you know, on the channel, we have we try to make beautiful battlefields, and part of that entails having these pieces of terrain that we accept don't affect the game, but they just look cool.
They just look good.
And we've just found that to be a better balance than like worrying about bumping a pile of orc junk or a statue or whatever. And so but the moment you make those actually really mean something, then you can't move them, and the beauty of your battlefield is affected by the game.
And the
always
effort
kinda
it takes just to play the game of like, okay, now I have to balance my model on this rock because I can't move the rock.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta measure around this tree because I can't. You know, like everybody has always drawn a line on what is scatter and what's real terrain that's going to affect the game.
Yeah.
GW is indicating to us that they want us to draw that line at pebbles. Pebbles don't affect the game, and everything else does.
That's because they don't sell pebbles.
The things shown in this picture, like the statue, I would treat the statue as a piece of terrain. I would put it next to a building and make it part of the building, and then it gives you cover.
Yeah.
The generators, I like being flexible with, right? We used to use them sometimes as dense. There's like a field between them. It denotes a region, but doesn't do anything really itself. Or you attach it to a pipe network, and it does nothing. It's just like a piece of the battlefield.
Yeah.
But like the truly scatter, the debris they're talking about, which can be like pipes pipes they get to later.
Pipes are different.
Debris is like crates and stuff that we've legitimately just kicked out of the way because why?
Yeah.
But now it gives cover, so cool.
There's debris.
That's Deborah's.
There you go.
Barricades and fuel pipes. They give cover. You fight over them. Same as always.
Yeah, nothing new here.
Nothing
Same old.
has changed.
Yeah, that's it. Barricades.
Yeah, we can move on
Next
to
picture.
Sorry, Lindsay. A lot of these are kind of nothing.
Okay, this one I like because it also apparently no longer gives you minuses to move through.
So far as we know.
As far, yeah, exactly.
And it does call out only infantry.
Yes.
So each of these things specifies what gets cover. I haven't like closely examined that list, but people have noticed that vehicles can get cover because some of these things are just
They
anything
mean some
behind it.
kinds of things, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on board with removing the negative penalty if that's true. And again, if they are also, we had to make some assumptions here because it does feel like there's some stuff that's missing here. But if woods no longer are dense, then crates and craters aren't necessarily as differentiated anymore because they were both -2 to move through. One gave you light cover, the other one gave you dense cover.
Right.
So let's just make craters be somewhere that you can take cover when you're basically in the open.
Just everything gives you
and
cover.
we might actually start using crates again because they look cool.
Craters?
Craters again. We're not going to use crates anymore.
The problem with craters, for me, has always been you can't put models on them.
Yeah.
You can put models in the middle, but the whole...
Like this is the full flat space of the crater basically taken up by two models.
It fits two Space Marines. Well, maybe 4. You could squeeze 4 Space Marines in there real
You could
tight.
do a cloverleaf, yeah.
But where's the rest of the squad go? They're like
On the edge.
bouncing on the edge, tipping over all the time.
And there's lots of rules here that say you have to be wholly within it. What does that mean? I'm sure they define it, but it sounds like a pain.
One day they'll make a good crater. I don't know how.
It just needs to be flat. Like,
It would just look bad, though. I don't know how you make a functional crater.
I agree.
That's craters.
Hologram craters, maybe? Here we go.
This is important.
Probably should start with this one.
What does cover do?
My bad. What does cover do? Cover, benefits of cover, +1 save. However,
Except.
if you have a save of a 3+ against AP 0,
Yep.
you cannot get the +1. So you cannot improve your save.
Better than a 3. But you can offset AP. Your final save can't start at a 3 and end at a 2.
Correct. Or
everything else
or
is
a
on the
2
table.
to a 1, or if you watch today's game, none of that anymore.
Well, no, you still can get a 1-up, which invalidates AP 1.
Oh,
this
that's true.
only stops you from going 3 to 2.
Yeah. You can't improve it.
You can go
To a
3 to
2.
2 and then get AP 1 back to 3.
Yeah.
You just can't end up with a 2-up unless you started with a 2-up.
And to say something positive about these terrain changes, I like this one.
This is good.
Yeah, this is great.
It's nuanced, and I think it's going to take people a while to understand. But once you get the hang of it, it's simple enough. It's not like all the AP calculations that we used to have to do
Yeah, no.
that were obnoxious. This is just like, did you start with a 2-up? Cool. Otherwise, you're not getting a 2-up. That's it.
Yeah.
Cover works normally, and you just can't go 3 to 2.
Because 3 to 2, really, since we've seen it introduced, has completely invalidated small arms fire
big jump.
against these types of armies. It's just a pain to roll. It comes up a lot, and with reducing AP, we've seen assault cannons no longer have AP. We got to meet somewhere in the middle, and I think they needed to write in some exception like this to make it work. So I think, well done, G-dubs, on this. We look forward to the rest of the terrain rules.
They did their testing.
They did, exactly. Yeah. That's terrain.
Everything.
That's cover.
It's all of it.
Again, it's kind of weird. We have, obviously, you can tell very mixed feelings about it.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely be curious to hear from you. Let us know in chat. Let us know in the comments. There's one more thing that has nothing to do with terrain that we want to talk about.
In it.
And it comes from today's Instagram post from Warhammer Community.
Let's take a look, Lindsay. This is the... Oh, there it is.
Oh, beautiful. This is from Warhammer Official.
What is that?
This is a drop pod with Primaris Marines coming out of it.
What?
And maybe even a Librarian. It's a little unclear.
Well, he's in the squad, bro.
He's in the squad. Oh, that's true. And then in, I cropped the image, but there is the sort of comments, or the description down below. It talks about being able to put Primaris in drop pods. Now, I think it can be assumed that this was already kind of known, but we've all kind of had questions like, is it really, can you put any Primaris in what? How does that work? What about drop pods? And this answers some, not all of our questions, right? Okay, you can put intercessors. We're not sure about Gravis and all that other stuff, but at least this. And this makes me a very happy boy.
These are all still infantry only, right? You can't put bikers in anything? Could you imagine if you had like bikers rolling out of
that is true.
Of a Redemptor? Sorry, of a...
Yeah. Of a repulsor.
Anything? Of anything.
Anything.
Bikers rolling out of a Redemptor would also take me by surprise.
It's just like nesting dolls. Tanks inside of smaller tanks and bigger tanks.
How are bike characters going to work? I guess they can probably only go in bike squads.
They can probably only join bike squads.
Okay, but back to transports. Back to drop pods.
This is exciting. I really missed drop pods. We only saw them in the most abusive of Iron Hands lists. And I would love for them. They're just cool. And they haven't made a Primaris version.
What do you think drop pods do in a world where rhinos are top tier?
I know, right?
Like, do they still give you turn 1 deep strike?
Yeah, they have to.
Do we know even if you can't turn 1 deep strike by default?
No, we don't know.
Because we've seen deep strike in the opponent's turn. They showed that with the teleport thing.
So here's a few things they could do. We've seen the rules for the Falcon, where you get out, or drops down, you get out, and it gives you reroll against a unit. You picking up where I'm going here. This could be rerolls, but that's not what I'm saying. It could be, for example, so I look at this and I'm nervous. I'm nervous about a drop pod jumping 9 inches away and me having to make a 9-inch charge.
I want it to give you reroll charges.
Yeah, reroll charges would be cool. Maybe reroll on +1. Because even the reroll is actually...
don't give them reroll +1.
But a reroll of 9 is like still not.
It's back to like a 7-ish.
Is it? Is it?
Yeah, like a reroll 9 is...
just above 50%?
It's roughly a 7. It's like pretty close.
I don't know. But I think giving some sort of buff to like come down and shoot or come down and charge would be cool. Like, why am I taking this and not a Rhino? And I think they can play with that. If it's not come down turn 1.
I hope it's not come down turn 1, because it's like, it only ever promotes bad or unhealthy game patterns, right? It promotes doing jank alpha strikes or never seeing drop pods.
Right. Yeah.
So like, let's find something cooler to do with drop pods. There's such a thematic part of the world that we never see.
What if it lets you come in like 6?
Oh, that's busted, dude.
That's cool.
You come in 6?
6. Like GSC can do that. That's fine.
Yeah, GSC don't have a bunch of stuff that Space Marines have.
This is 100 point for a 1-use vehicle.
Uh-huh. Come in 6?
Actually, I think they're less than 100 points now. But whatever they're going to be.
That's wild, bro. Come in with a...
7. How about 7?
You wildin'.
How far do I have to go out for you to be okay with this?
I don't know.
Don't say 9.
I think 7... The thing is, you start to change, like, ranges and stuff. Like, when you get closer shooting also...
But that's that's why it's elegant. That's why G-dubs would like this, because it helps... If you're a melee unit or a shooting unit, we don't have to come up with separate rules anymore. It's just like, it's just good to deliver troops. I don't know.
I want to drop us a land on things.
Just making a suggestion. Are we bringing back scatter?
I want it back. No, well, maybe it doesn't have to scatter. Maybe we're like really good at aiming drop pods now.
Yeah. And
they deal mortal wounds when they come down or something. As a stratagem? I don't know.
Well, you could do the Swooping Hawks thing, which is they come down and you can do bombs basically at a unit within 12 of where they drop down.
Right.
To represent them dropping them on the way in.
Yeah.
So the drop pod's like, it's like...
Oh, it bounces. I don't think drop pods bounce, bro.
I think they bounce.
Not in my head canon.
If you look underneath, there's like There's little rubber pads.
I don't think they bounce,
And there's
dude.
jet thrusters, which you think are for the descent, but it's actually for the ascent afterwards. It goes.
If they bounced, it would kill everybody inside every single time.
Great bouncing drop pods, Batman.
Your brain would just go through the bottom of your head.
That's why only Space Marines can ride in drop pods. That's canon. Well,
All right.
whatever it is, something's happening with drop pods, and we're excited.
I'm going to put eradicators in drop pods. You can't stop me.
It's frightening. It's frightening.
Cool. That's drop pods.
Let's take some super chats. Send them on in. We're here for lists. We're here for questions.
Mail time.
I still owe a top 3 dads.
That's a
this
good-
is
that's a good super
from.
That's my default text.
There you go.
It's pretty good, right?
Great default text there.
We do have some mail time to do.
Oh
Cobra,
yeah.
Cobra, I hope you're here. Cobra,
Cobra.
I have received. Now this is really not going to show up on screen. I have received Mr. Negative, and it's a delightful sculpt. It's very high detail, but I want to get him painted and then show him. Like we'll do a whole thing. We'll show Mr. Negative. I want.
He's cool.
Somebody to write me rules. Somebody, look, if you're out there and you fancy yourself a game designer and you like Marvel Crisis Protocol, write me rules for Mr. Negative, my favorite Marvel character.
DM Bridger.
DM Shane Rookie. No, at me on Discord. Again, never DM me because it gets quarantined and I will never see it because I don't go to that section. But I do get, if you at me on the Discord. In fact, I think we even have an MCP channel. So add me on the Discord, give me your custom rules for Mr. Negative, and the rules that I like the best will get played. I kind of want him to be like Dormammu, where he sets the affiliation, the team is just about him, and you can put anybody else in it.
Right.
And then he does something cool, like changes them up, makes them different, because that's what he does. That's what
It reverses everyone's allegiances.
Mr. Negative does.
What is his? I don't understand his aesthetic. So he's like a waiter with a naginata.
He's
Like, what's his
he
thing?
dresses nicely. He's almost always seen wearing like a suit and tie.
Yeah.
And has arbitrary Japanese weaponry.
Why?
He also has like a katana, because he's Japanese, I think.
Is he?
I don't know. I think.
I don't know. I can only base. This is everything I know about this character. So
I've seen many depictions of him from covers of comic books
yeah.
that are put in Marvel Snap.
Okay.
And they
Gotcha.
he has a katana in almost all of them,
Yeah.
which is why it shocked me that he has a naginata here.
Right.
But I'm still with it.
Okay.
I think it fits the aesthetic.
Yeah.
He's a dapper Japanese man
Yeah.
who is here to chop some people up.
Okay.
He makes me think Yakuza,
Yeah.
which I think is what they're going for.
Yeah.
I think they want you to think Yakuza.
I'm on board
He's
for it.
cool.
He's a cool.
So
yeah.
don't DM me, but at me on the MCP channel of our Discord. And with that, thank you, Cobra.
Thanks, Cobra.
I'll show you the painted model when we have it.
Cobra is in chat.
Hey.
What's up, Cobra?
Yeah,
Hello.
just showed up.
Hope you're doing well, Cobra.
Okay. We do have some super chats.
He's so excited to be here.
Always.
This is
Oh,
for
what's up,
Magnus.
Magnus?
Did nothing
Magnus!
wrong.
Magnus.
What up, fam? Miss you dudes. How do you
Yes.
think DG will do post data slate? I'm taking them to ACO again this year, and I'm still trying to finish my dread claws. Was thinking 2 5-man squad, 5 mans in each for BEL.
Behind enemy lines. Okay. So you're putting Plague Marines in Dread Claws. Can Dread Claws take Terminators? They take up 2 slots?
I don't think so.
That's a bummer.
That's why. No, I guess 5 mans. Yeah.
Well, so he's putting 10 Plague Marines in.
Mm-hmm.
But if I could put 5 Terminators,
Oh God.
I would be pretty interested in that. And you might be asking yourself, Terminators deep strike on their own, why would you put them in a Dreadclaw? And the answer is, I like Terminators. Shut up. I like Terminators, okay? It's good to see you, Magnus.
Yeah, it is.
I hope the baby's doing well.
Yeah.
Hope you and your family are doing well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think Death Guard are doing fine post-data slate.
Yeah.
They didn't get nerfed at all, right?
This current one, no.
Yeah, I think they're doing great. And the big bads mostly got nerfed.
Yeah.
The
Exactly.
oppressive factions.
Exactly. So I think they're fine, and we here, as you know, Magnus, are proponents of the Death Guard. Don't listen to what other people say. They're all wrong.
They are all
They're
wrong.
cool. I will say, in favor of Magnus's idea, if you get behind enemy lines with troops, you get a CP.
You get a CP.
That's pretty cute.
If you get behind enemy lines, if Dreadclaws can take Terminators, then one squad of Terminators in a Dreadclaw gives you full behind enemy lines. It's 2 units.
Wait, that's true for Plague Marines as well.
Yeah, but I want Terminators in. But I want Terminators in it because the Terminators are actually quite good now, and all of them. Like it's not just Blight Lords. It's not just Death Shrouds. It's also Blight Lords because Blight Lords just get all the upgrades. You just give them every gun, and you drop them out of that Dreadclaw, and you shoot one thing, and you charge another thing, and you get behind enemy lines. It's great. It's a lovely little narrative.
That's true. I'm here
story
for it.
you tell.
Yeah.
Thanks, Magnus.
Thanks,
Good to see you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Next up, we have a super chat from Jonathan.
Oh,
Jonathan!
And Jonathan just did that is
that's
so
a cool.
cute.
That's an
That's a
amazing
cool
one.
It's a
pineapple.
pineapple.
Aw,
so Jonathan came in chat during the game and was like, I want to super chat something, but I can't think of anything cool to say.
Aww.
Or I can't think of anything. I couldn't think of anything to say. So he just did this.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Very cool.
Thanks,
pineapple.
Jonathan.
I wonder how the pineapple looks differently in all the different. Because here, this is the Open Sans font right here. I don't know if they reskin that.
That's what their version of the pineapple looks like.
Discord
They look like
Definitely
will have a different pineapple.
Yes, Discord does. In Discord, the top, the green part, is much more frilly.
Much. Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, look at that.
That looks like a tree's grown out of that.
Yeah, right?
Oh my gosh.
And
This one looks like it's made from pumpkin pie topper. Like it's like the crisscross
Oh
of the
yeah,
dough.
it's like I think that makes me think of apple pie.
Yeah, apple
What
pie.
did I say? Pumpkin?
You
Yeah.
said pumpkin pie.
Yeah, apple pie.
Which
It does not look
pumpkin
like
pie doesn't have a topper, but apple pie. Yep, we got apple pie and apple.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
All the way from Sweden.
Oh.
This next question is from Evan Tuminello. Thank
What's
you,
up, Evan?
Evan. Keep in mind, even if have a vibranium suit and you are immune to kinetic energy attacks, momentum is always conserved, so you can still get hurt. Be careful out there. Wakanda forever.
Yeah. Evan's not wrong. I think people need to think about this.
But
That's what chat was saying. Chat was like, yeah,
that's
you're not
true.
wrong.
I thought vibranium like broke the rules though. I thought that's what makes it interesting is vibranium absorbs the kinetic energy into itself,
Yeah.
which would kinetic energy and momentum are one and the same.
Oh.
Well, they are deeply correlated. You can't have one without the other.
Right.
If you have kinetic energy, you must have momentum.
Yeah.
So if you're removing the kinetic energy from the attack by absorbing it, which is nonsense, but this is comics,
Yeah.
then there is no momentum. So you'll be fine, dude. Just like you could,
Yeah.
if you have a vibranium suit, you could come down to a drop pod and the drop pod bounces.
Ooh, that's where I thought this was going.
You'll be fine.
But this is way from the past. You know what this makes me think of?
What?
Guess.
What does this make you? I don't think you have anything in mind. I think.
What do you think? I just say things because I like the sound of my voice? What? No.
I think sometimes we say things because there's an expectation that we'll say things.
No, okay. In the best Lord of the Rings movie, which is The Fellowship of the Ring, okay, the scene in which, spoiler, Frodo gets stabbed by the cave troll, and he's like, "Oh my God, trust me, that would have skewered a wild boar." And he's like, "Guys, I'm fine." Look, he has the mithril suit underneath, which would protect the puncture wounds, but he would still be internally like splattered.
Well, that's also just not how chainmail. Chainmail is weak to puncture, because you just get between the rings and you split it.
No, but it's mithril, so I'm fine with the puncturing not working.
Okay.
But it's still a shirt that is loose, like
Right,
this
and it
shirt,
would just
and the spear would just
got gut punch.
and then all his internal organs would explode.
He should be like
and he'd be
thrown
like,
up.
"Guys, I'm fine," but he's like, "There's no injury on
He
the
should
skin."
at least be thrown up.
Yes, that's
He
all I'm
was
saying.
a little gaspy there.
He was a.
But
you see
Frodo
With
is
the wind
gaspy.
knocked out of
He's
him.
always like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's always gaspy. Yeah.
Oh, Sam. Best movie. I love that movie.
Wakanda forever.
But I think Evan has a point. Mithril and vibranium suits. Maybe not all they're meant to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good to keep in mind.
Well, thank you, Evan. This next question is from Jacob Lobodinsky.
What's up, Jacob?
What's up, Jacob?
Hey Titans, I never get to catch you live, but luckily I have a 4-day weekend.
Congrats.
Can't think of a better way to spend it than with the Titans watching two brothers duke it out till Daddy Russ shows up to put them in their place.
Daddy Russ.
Daddy Russ.
Daddy Russ is the true Russ.
Is the true daddy? Is that what you meant?
I can't speak today. So here's yeah. Russ is the true daddy. I think of him also as the true father because my dad, his name is also Russ. So I'm actually a son of Russ.
Ooh, wow.
Interesting.
Yeah, sons of Russ.
I think of Russ as a father to no one and like a patriarch to all.
Oh.
Like he's a
Okay.
distant father figure. He's not always there for you.
Yeah. You don't
Like I
think
think your sergeant or your scald
Yeah.
is like that's your dad,
Yeah.
right?
Is that your dad or is that your bro?
And no, you have a lot of bros in the space.
Yeah.
Everybody's
no
a bro.
shortage. Yeah.
Everybody's a bro.
It's true.
But like Russ, Lehman Russ,
Yeah.
is like the patriarch of the whole.
The Allfather.
Right. But he's not your dad, he's everybody's dad.
I mean, he literally has father in his title.
He's not your dad, he's everybody's dad. It's like the principal of a school, you know?
Oh, that's true. You didn't call your principal dad? Is that weird? Wait, what?
I feel like that will get you detention pretty quickly. If you're like, hey dad, enough times the principal will be like, you're in
You're
detention.
in detention.
I told you so many times to stop this, you're in detention.
I told you never to call me dad again. I hope that, so for me, Russ is probably in the top 3 Primarchs to come back next. Loyalist.
Yes. Yes.
I would love for it to come back.
Can't think of anybody who would be before him, right?
Probably
Those?
Dorn, I think would be pretty sweet.
But less likely to happen?
Yeah.
I think Russ is number 1, Dorn number 2. What happened to Corvus Corax?
Nobody knows? Nobody cares?
He could come back.
He's not dead, is he?
None of the deaths really matter, other than Sanguinius.
Whoa, spoiler, jeez.
Sanguinius' death was a plot device. The rest of the deaths are like
Could be
could be reversible because
Fake.
they just choose
Yeah.
to reverse it.
No, I agree. Yeah, we'll see.
Hey,
Thanks, Jacob.
glad you're having a 4-day weekend. For
Yeah.
Earth Day? 4-day weekend for Earth Day?
Well, one is for Earth Day, one's for Arbor Day. They just rolled it in for next week.
Also, today's Saturday. This is just a normal weekend day. I'm confused what the 4-day weekend has to do with it.
I can think of lots of reasons. Like, sometimes you just need to have time off at the right time. And if you have like a weekend, like you have so much stuff you need to do. Like for me, Sundays is like so many chores. So the moment I have an extra day, it like unlocks a whole extra tier of time.
Do you ever have your weekend shifted?
Yes.
And that's weird.
That's weird. Don't want that.
That's weird for me.
Anyways, thanks, Jacob.
Thanks, Jacob.
Yeah, this next one is
You're muted. Boom. Dude, I'm on
next one. Thank you. This next one is from Noah Ringer. I accidentally missed Noah. Sorry, Noah.
What's up, Noah?
You just
Noah.
pointed out in chat, so sorry. Thank you for pointing that out. And
We got you.
Totally.
It's from Noah. Thank you. Hey Titans, I'm going to be playing with 3 novice Warhammer players later today, and any tips on how I could run our game? I want to make sure it's all fun and fair. I'm thinking maybe 2 teams of 2.
Yeah, I would
Yes.
I would try to get everybody included.
Yeah. And don't do free for all.
No, that's just a recipe for somebody to be out early and be sad.
Yep.
Not really experience it.
Yep.
I mean, there's so many gradations of like how much of the rules of Warhammer you want to play with. I know they're all the rules, and it's incorrect to play without the rules. But really, there's too many rules. You have to take baby steps.
Yep.
So I would start with no psychic phase. Unless, I mean, this is all very army dependent. If they're playing like Thousand Suns, you can't just skip psychic phase. But like,
I wouldn't start with Thousand Suns.
great point. So like no psychic, probably no stratagems outside of like some basic ones. Like command point reroll, I think is important, but it's just too much to keep track of. And keep the number of data sheets low.
Yeah.
Those are like the big advice pieces, right?
Exactly. Just simplify what they need to think about. Yeah. Yeah. But you literally hit everything on the head right there.
Nailed
Keep it simple. It's a lot, and don't be afraid to step in to to like kind of tell them rules that it's gonna take forever to dig up. You know, and like I said, you know, Mel's been learning 9th edition, and it's like there's the Space Wolves, and then their chapter tactic actually isn't even in the Space Wolves book, and then there's Super Doctrine is in that one, but then there's like another rule in a different place that's Shock Tactics is somewhere else. So there's like rules like that. I wouldn't worry too much about having them see the page and know where it is. So you kind of try to reduce that burden where you can. And there's a lot of that kind of on the fringes of like interactions that you can be like, oh, they get this, and just don't worry about. They don't have to know the reason for absolutely everything when they're starting.
It's kind of funny, like when you're learning Warhammer, it's almost easier for it to be like spoken tradition.
Yeah.
Of, like somebody tells you the rules and you just believe
Totally.
them. And when we learned so much of, I don't know about you, but when I was learning so much of the time, I'd be like, oh, this guy said that it works this way, and an opponent would be like, no, it doesn't.
Yeah.
And they would call in a 4th person. And then like it's just this like negotiation of our tradition, our ritual of like, well, how are we gonna play this, right? Because nobody wants to look up. There's too many books.
Yeah.
There's too many rules everywhere. And once you get to the point where you've mastered all of the oral tradition, then you keep up with all the FAQs.
Yeah.
And you become the bearer of the oral tradition. You pass on. You're like, oh no, that got changed in this thing. Don't look it up. It's just that got changed this way.
Oh my God. Can we? I want to hire an anthropologist to do research on Warhammer players. That'd be amazing.
Nothing good can come of that.
Nothing good. Yeah. Well, have fun, Noah. Thank you for carrying on the oral tradition.
Yes, thank you. This next question is from Hi, Torian.
Oh, what's up, hi, Torian?
Thank you. Figuring out good secondaries for my salamanders suck. Successor, thank you.
Yeah.
Going prom creed / no priz and shock tactic.
It's good.
No good third. Is a 60-point Inquisitor worth it for Phi interrogation whilst Librarian does Fortress?
Not anymore.
I'm against.
Number one, you need line of sight now, which makes it really easy for opponents to just hide characters.
Yeah.
And 2, it's tough. You lose that Psyker, then Librarian has to not do something that's fundamental to your list. It's just very dangerous. So let's see.
I'm not a fan of Psychic Interrogation. However, if you're taking Promethean Creed and Shock Tactics, or sometimes I think you're going to take Promethean Creed and Oath, if you're already dogpiling the middle, I'm on board for Warp Ritual with an Inquisitor. Yeah. It kind of plays into your playstyle already.
Yeah.
But Interrogation, I'm against.
Yeah, I totally agree. Promethean Creed / no prisoners, then Shock Tactics. Can you not Oath? Look, given the way today's stream started, I'm not.
I think you can Oath in Promethean Creed. John's on that, right? Yeah, John's on that.
Yeah, I think that's pretty.
You can't Shock Tactics and Oath. Because those are both be in a place.
No, you can. You can take all 3 of the Space Marine secondaries together. Yeah.
Pretty good.
I think Oath can work pretty well for this, for exactly the same reason that Bridger is saying, that Warp Ritual could be compelling. Yeah, I would go for those 2, honestly.
Stack it up.
Check for both. Thanks, Hightower. I appreciate it.
Fun. We do love salamanders.
Thank you. This next question is from Johan Lance. Thank you, Johan.
What's up, dude?
Heyo.
A year ago, I asked you how to convert my Midsummer-themed Exorcist. Zach suggested adding bear.
Yep.
Check strap in the bear on the sister subreddit. Question: how will SOB work in 10? Ooh, to and
100th edition. Well,
100th edition.
I think we're going to be playing Laser Warhammer by then.
Yeah. I don't even think we're going to be playing. I think AI are going to play for us.
Yeah.
No, I mean, AI mastered chess, but we still play chess for fun, Adrian. This is a game for fun.
But they are going to have fun playing it. They're going to play it, and we're going to move the models for them.
Would that be fun? Can we roll the dice too?
No, it's fun for them.
I want to roll the dice.
No, because they're going to be ruling over us, Bridger.
But I want to roll the dice. I'll be your dice servitor.
You can have fun. If that's fun for you, then that's
I
good.
just want to roll the dice.
Dice servitor. Oh my god. I love it, like a lobotomized Bridger dice servitor. Bridger, roll the dice.
They'll never go in the box.
He'll never go in the box, but they will roll 9s on all my charges.
Sisters subreddit. I gotta find it. Sisters subreddit.
You going on subreddit?
Sorry, Sisters Discord. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, I got added. Is that?
Oh.
I gotta find where I got.
All right. While he's looking at that, I'm going to talk about Sisters of Battle. I'm assuming that's what SOB means here.
Yeah.
So they haven't shown, I don't think, anything.
No.
So let's kind of think about it. Let's speculate it a bit. I think the ordos definitely can benefit from kind of being smushed together. You know, right now we have a bunch of them, but there's only a couple that are getting used, and there's a few that are very similar. So I think them, like, losing sub-factions wouldn't be the end of the world. And instead having, like, different kind of spreads of types of sister armies that could focus on, I don't know, one will be like a congregation of flame, and it's all about, like, fast.
Oh, we did say subreddit.
He did say subreddit.
Okay.
I'm not a Reddit user. Is that like you're gonna be able to find this? It's not like huge.
I mean, it's probably a post that got a lot of traction.
Yeah.
If they spent a year on it.
Honestly.
And it's a dope idea.
It is a great idea.
I don't know the name though. I have to Google.
Strap in the bear.
Yeah,
Excuse
that's
me?
what it says to look up on subreddit.
Strap in the bear.
This is in your search history now.
No, I'm searching Sisters of Battle subreddit.
Okay, you know what I'm excited for, Sisters, for 10th edition? Immolators. Let's
Ooh.
bring Immolators back.
Yeah.
They're so cool. They're so quintessential to Sisters. Transports are coming back in a big way. Let's make it a thing. I'm super excited. So I don't know. That's a couple of my thoughts. I think they're going to be okay with sub-faction changes. I think their transports will be interesting. I hope. And honestly, I hope there's ways to play them without having to run Celestine and Morvenval and all that
Dude,
stuff.
this is dope.
You found it?
Yeah.
In the whole internet, you found it.
Well, it's like the third highest post on the Sisters subreddit.
Ah,
It's very cool. And they did, the fourth image isn't the model. It's like a artist's, like a, what do they call that when you do art before you do art?
Concept art?
Yes, it's like concept art for the model.
These are awesome.
Hey, chat, look this up. Do this thing. The thing that it says to do here.
Strap in the bear.
Strap it in.
Order of the longest day.
It's very cool.
This is amazing.
You did a great job on this model.
Jeez. Ah! That's really, 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 really cool. Love it.
I want it.
I know, right?
How do I get this?
You got to do a...
Wait, there's so many. Hold on. The fifth picture is like a whole army.
Yeah.
With like the same. This is awesome.
It's beautiful. It's got all of the, like, you know, floral decorations and like leaves and grass and stuff.
Oh, this is
beautiful.
great. You did a good job, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cool. So this next question is a list from Siege Roots.
What's up, Siege Roots?
Thank you, Siege Roots.
Thank you.
Made some changes to my list. We got Tiggy, G-Man, 5 Infiltrators, 10 Intercessors, Blade Ancient, 5 BGV, Blade Guard Veterans, Primaris Apoth, Redemptor, Victrix, 2x5 Desolation, 5 Heavy Eradicators, and Impulsor with Shield Dome.
Nice. I like it.
Dude, you got some flexibility. You took out Calgar, which I love. Calgar and G-Man do not get along. Which is funny because they do in the lore, but
just too much. It's too many parents.
and you took out one of the Victrix, which I support, because you were getting one in a free slot from Calgar, but it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
I love that you have the flexibility to put either Eradicators or Blade Guard Vets in the Impulsor. I love that you're running heavy Eradicators and Ultramarines, because with full rerolls from Gilliman and from their tactical doctrine, the super doctrine, you can move and shoot heavy with no penalty. I love this list.
This is a great list. And we got the Redemptor in there.
This
Get that Codex Warfare.
is a dope list.
I think you nailed it, honestly. You even have Tiggy G there.
Tiggy G.
Tiggy G. 10-man Intercess. Oh, dude, this list is great.
Right.
And then he Siege Roots super chatted again.
Thank you again, Siege Roots.
With so Ancient is upgraded and has Seal of Oath and Storm of Fire. WLT, not sure if the 10 Intercessors is enough OBSEC. Run the Ancient WLT, better Rights of War.
Well, you also have 5 Infiltrators and 2 troops, I think is enough in Space Marines.
Yeah, especially if you have Rights of War. There will be matchups where you want to combat squad. So, like, for example, today, if you brought this list, it would be interesting to combat squad to make all 3 objectives sticky with troops.
At the beginning, yeah.
You know, the way that neither Bridger nor I did correctly.
What's hard on this mission? Because you don't start. You start with 1 in your deployment zone.
No, yeah, just 1.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. So you have to survive.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't even sticky my back objective, which was pretty
Neither
clumsy.
did I.
That's true. It's the only one we didn't actually.
To my chagrin, that actually lost me the game. Shooting that dumb tech marine, blowing himself up, lost me the game.
Oh my god. Oh, now I didn't even realize that. He's overcharging because, of course.
Why wouldn't he? He's a tech marine.
Yeah, this is great, Siege. Give it a go. Let us know how you like it, and if you end up making any changes.
Yeah, I would swap Storm of Fire for
Oh right.
Oath. No,
No, that's not the question.
Rights of War.
No, so it's the Ancient Warlord trait, which is pick 1, make them obsec, and if they're already obsec, they get double. Rather than Rights of War, which is everyone within 6 core and character
I
gets
think
obsec.
in this situation, in this list, it's not better Rights of War. Because you're castling around Gilliman. And if everything's obsec, that's better than one thing being double obsec.
I agree.
Yeah.
Stick with
That's my read.
rights.
I'll stick with Rights of War. And Storm of Fire, you don't have enough bolters. It's just not enough to make it worth it.
Yeah. Save your CP. You have great strats.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, thank you. So this next question is from Freeze Breeze.
Ooh.
Freeze Breeze says, "Hi, it's almost 1 a.m. and I just wanted to let you know you keep me up at night." Oh, just kidding.
Oh, wow.
Don't feel special. Just kidding. There's an AdMech list in Discord AM channel thoughts.
I'm on it.
So I can
Alright,
bring
cool,
it up
cool.
here, but it's
Oh,
probably
she's on it.
No, this is better.
it's
That is better.
well, it's also like really stretched out.
Yeah, but you're on it. You got this.
Yeah. So FW
So the Forge World is
Forgeworld
Ryza.
Ryza, Datasmith plus Low Guy, Supervisory Radiance,
Okay.
Those are words.
Marshall, and Exemplar's Eternity.
Good, Marshall.
Higher Point Telemetry Cache.
Give cover.
Manipulus.
Yep.
Is that? Yeah.
I'm going with it. I
Yeah.
like
I love it.
it. Manipulous.
Ridiculous. That's one of those,
No, but I
one of those words where it's like,
Yeah.
I've only said it in my head.
Probably how the Romans would
I mean, it's a made-up word.
Manipulus?
Manipulus.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's a Roman word, right?
What's the other one? Oh, plebeian? Or plebeian?
Right, yeah.
I think it's plebeian,
plebeian.
but we all
I
say
like
plebeian.
plebeian.
Yeah, I think that's the... Anyways, yeah.
Manipulus.
I say plebeian.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm still thinking Manipulus.
I think that's the way to say it.
Manipulus?
Sorry to say. Raiment of Techno Martyr.
Makes a unit ignore negative.
Citation and Savagery.
Uh-huh.
20
Okay.
Rangers plus Data Tether, Omnispecs, 2 Arc Rifles, Taser Goad. 4x5 Vanguards with Arc Maul. 5 Infiltrators, Flechette, and Taser. 7 Ruststalker with Blades, a Temporcopia.
If I last, yeah.
5 Ruststalkers with Blades, 6 Sterilizers, 3 Raiders, 2x3 Sidonian Dragoons, 5 Fighty Robots, and then Termite plus Volkite.
This list just goes on and
Yeah.
on. Oof.
Where, I
and
haven't
then
seen AdMech in like a century.
Usually-
What is going on with AdMech?
7 Rust Stalkers and 1 Vanguard goes in the drill. Notes at the bottom. What's going on with AdMech?
What's going on? What's
So
the
they
deal?
got some pretty nice buffs, and I don't know that it super helped them.
What is the deal with AdMech?
God. Look, they're not the worst anymore. That's reserved for Deathwatch, but
Ooh, got him. Where are we
Lizzie's-
going?
Lizzie having issues here.
Where are we going, Lizzie?
So Ryza, otherwise known as Blood Angel, AdMech, very
yeah.
combat-y.
Yeah.
Citation and Savagery is their warlord trait, which is full rerolls to hit in melee.
Oh, that's quite good.
It's good. You have to pick it in the fight phase, and it's a 9-inch.
Less good.
That's the biggest problem with it. You can't just yeet someone in. But you could have them with the fighty, like next to the fighty robots, toss it on Ruststalkers when they're close, or with the fighty robots when you're close. So I like a lot of what's going on.
Dragoons could benefit from that.
Dragoons.
They're core again. I know that.
That's good. Oh, that would be...
Yep.
Exploding 5s, reroll everything?
Yep.
Oh my
Yep.
god.
Yep.
On
Yep.
board.
That's
I'm
the
super
tech.
on board.
Secret tech right there.
That's really cool. I might consider consolidating that into a big unit, especially because you have Order of Logi, so make them ignore AP 1 and 2, and get all those buffs, and then you can kind of trail out to him easier.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
But the ones you're at 6 models, they have big coherency.
I would just do 5 then.
Do 5.
Just cut one.
Do 5, yeah.
The 4x5 Vanguard, I'm thinking about Vanguard because much of the time I find myself just wanting Rangers because they get the AP, etc., etc. Vanguard reduce strength and toughness, which is cute. So you can do a kind of 1-2 punch. You can be -1 toughness and I'm +1 to wound. Would I take 5 of them? They're going to be good into, well, the things that they're good at killing are things that if you kill them, if you see them, they're dead. So GSC, Eldar, you know, all those kind of armies basically.
But you already saw them and they're already dead.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know if they do something that Rangers don't kind of just do better with the pre-game move, with AP. So I would maybe cut the Vanguard down to almost all, just change almost all of them into Rangers, and maybe keep 1 or 2 if you want the tech of like the minus toughness. And then Infiltrators, Flechette, Taser, very much a meta question, right? I think I'm still currently on the Power Sword train for that, but Tasers are actually viable. During Armor of Contempt, Tasers absolutely unusable because they're AP1.
Right.
But now they're okay.
Do they have exploding 6s?
They do, and they can
So
go
you
to
can give them full
5s.
rerolls?
Oh!
There's a lot of things in this list that you can give full rerolls.
It's true. It's just hard to leverage in more than one place.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could be on board.
I
Yeah.
like this list.
Yeah,
Cool.
That's it.
I miss AdMech.
They're cool.
They're cool.
Yeah, so
We'll
that's
go for 10th.
from Freeze Breeze.
Freeze Breeze is British, I think.
Thanks, Freeze Breeze.
Freeze Breeze is actually in chat right now saying
what's up?
it's
Breezy Breezy?
4 a.m. where they
Oh my gosh. Go to bed.
are? Hold on. No,
Oh,
it's 2 a.m. It's now 2
just 2.
a.m.
It's
10
fine.
hours ahead of us. That's like Eastern Europe.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, these aren't pounds, right?
Those are euros.
that's your
Yeah.
Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
cool. Well, thank you for joining us, Freeze Breeze. This next question is from Evan Tumanillo.
What's
up,
up,
Evan?
Evan?
Thank you, Evan. Just wanted to say thanks for helping me get back into the hobby in 9th Ed, and looking forward to learning 10th from the Titans.
It's our pleasure, Evan. Thanks for
Evan.
hanging out. And we always enjoy chatting. What happened?
I don't know. Do you want to
I'm
remove it?
pressing buttons over here.
All right, we're good.
fine.
We're good. It's back.
I think for us, everything was fine, but for something.
I was scared that you were scared. That scared me. I was like, what happened? Why am I scared?
You got prey eyes all of a sudden. Look, we're super excited to explore 10th edition with you, Evan, and with everyone. It's going to be a whole journey,
It'll be a good time.
you know. It's going to be awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do we do it? Is that
No, that's not it. But Freeze Breeze came in and said he's Finnish.
Finish!
Yeah, from
Finnish?
Finland.
Finland.
Right?
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay, let's
Eastern
see.
Europe?
Yeah.
Northeastern Europe.
The north.
Up in the cold land.
The cold land.
Okay, next question. This question is from Kyle Hall. Thank you,
Kyle.
Kyle. Ruins. These wrecked and damaged structures completely block visibility of all models.
There we go.
Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Through their footprint, regardless of how much you can see.
Oh, was that in the
Perfect.
article? Did we just miss that? We must have
Well,
just
the
missed that.
triple asterisk maybe means it was at the very bottom of the article. Yeah. It's weird. I
I don't
don't
read
know.
the fine print.
I guess it's because they're getting rid of obscuring as a keyword. So they just want to say,
Just on ruins, though?
well, forests don't.
Sure.
Yeah, just ruins.
on ruins.
It kind of always has been just ruins.
Was a keyword that you could put on anything?
But you never did.
Some people make creative boards where you put it on like we played with the hoodoos, and we gave them obscuring.
We made them ruins, but yeah.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I guess I just don't know in this new system what you just call things that they're not.
Yeah.
Like if you need something to be a ruin for the rules purposes, you just call it a ruin.
It's less, obviously it's less modular, but I think we can just common sense it, you know, which is kind of what we were already doing anyways, even at tournaments.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks,
Okay.
Kyle. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Kyle. That's good to hear.
Yeah,
It's important.
that's a relief.
Well, this next question is from the Trash Man.
What's up, Trash Man?
Thank you, Trash Man. Weird list for you. Anathema Psychana. 1 Alea, 1 Valerian, 1 Knight C, 3x5 prosecutors, 3x10 witch seekers, 3x10 vigilators, 3 rhinos, and 1 Knight Castellan. Opinions?
Whoa.
Smaller knight for more prosecutors?
Sisters.
No, I like it with a Castellan. The problem that sisters run into is when you're playing a full sisters list, they struggle to kill anything above toughness 4.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're just sisters, right? They don't really have tanks.
No,
They're like guard without tanks, but good armor.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
And good ballistic skill. Maybe they're not. Maybe guard's not a great example. But
It's a really bad example.
Sisters of Silence don't have tanks. They have
rhinos.
But like a rhino is not, it's a troop transport. It's not a tank, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's not going to be out there getting rid of elite threats
Yeah.
or destroying anything. Like a rhino's not going to destroy anything. It's not going to solve any of those problems.
No, you're right.
So the Knight Castellan, I think, helps you with that. But I think you're still going to struggle against those threats. A Knight Castellan can't put the world on his back. This is sort of a fundamental issue. Like, they made it possible to play a pure sisters list without thinking about the repercussions or the implications of that. Of saying, like, okay, you can do it, but like you're gonna have a rough time. Kind of like they did with Death Company. They were like, you can make a whole army
Right.
Death Company, but good luck playing the game.
But you won't.
Yeah, I would be tempted to bring, maybe instead of a Castellan, like 6 War Dogs. What do you think about 6 War Dogs, Adrian?
I think it'd be cool, but that's like twice the points.
Is it 6 War Dogs? They're like 125.
No.
How many are they?
You
150?
can get them. Let's call it 150 plus or minus 20 points.
Okay.
So
And Castellan's like 600.
okay, you get 4.
But I want 6. Cut some more sisters. Look, sisters are great models, but
Yeah.
a whole army of sisters really struggles.
Tough.
And this might be violating your
Fundamental.
right. Like you set out to make a sisters list, and I'm like, what if less sisters though?
Right. That's the problem with you, Bridger. I also think the allies rules might make it a little difficult to take that many war dogs. Or armigers, Imperial.
You can run 3x2, right? Or can you not soup in 3x2?
I don't remember.
Or
I agree
2x3?
though. If you were trying to really make this list able to churn and pop and sizzle, I would drop a few sisters and the Castellan to get a bunch of those with, probably like the Melta or the Helverins or something.
Right.
But if that's not possible, then I think the Castellan is the best option. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you've got OPSEC on lock. You have a lot of.
Well.
Oh, only the prosecutors are OPSEC.
Yeah. Because they got done so dirty, and it made me so mad. Like, why? Why couldn't they make the, Vigilators and the Witch Seekers
Yeah.
also OPSEC? Would that have been too crazy?
Would have been too crazy.
We would actually see them on the field.
Custodians went from everything being OPSEC all the time to nothing being OPSEC ever. Like, they just hate that book.
And they're like so reticent to give them anything back. In fact, they still are taking things away.
I'm 100% sure they don't want to see Custodians play competitively and doing well. They want to know that they're played competitively by like 3 people.
Well, it is tough because they are such a skew army, Like you said, they walked back some of the changes. They said, okay, you can have OBSEC wardens, and then the Europeans, not naming names, were like, fine, we're just going to run 20, like
All
2
the
blocks
wardens.
of 10 wardens.
All
They're
the
like,
wardens.
okay, well, now you can't stack up your strats on them because you just can't have nice things.
But it's an army, and I'm pretty sure it's for lore reasons. Like, they just don't want to see it on a lot of tables. When they go to events,
No.
they don't want to see Custodians on more than like 5% of
think?
tables. Because historically, every time Custodians are doing reasonably, not even well. When they're doing reasonably, they take a pretty hefty nerf, and they're over-nerfed every time, and they disappear following that immediately.
I think it's because they do decently well with skewed lists.
It's an army that's guaranteed to be skewed,
Right, that's the problem.
but there are other armies that have done well with skew lists for a lot longer than Custodians.
And not been
Custodians
punished.
instantly get punished every time
It's true.
because they're supposed to be rare, right? They're supposed to be like, there's not many of them, so if you see them on a lot of tables, GW lore people are like, this is wrong. Something is wrong here. Make it stop. And they send an email This is my conspiracy theory.
You know, I was about to say, we have this whole like wardrobe of costumes. You know, we don't have a tinfoil hat.
We need to get one.
We need to get one.
That would be pretty easy to make.
You think we can handle that?
We would have to make it out of not regular tinfoil. They're like movie props.
Because it's loud.
They have like prop paper bags that don't make noise, and prop tinfoil that doesn't make noise. If you do that, give me a tinfoil hat.
You made it immediately harder.
What if you made the tinfoil hat out of tinfoil or aluminum foil, and then put like felt on the inside.
On the inside?
Like made it an actual hat.
Oh.
So your head is not changing, really messing with the aluminum part.
Could work.
I'm into it.
Could do it.
Like a little yarmulke basically.
Aluminum.
We get like an actual
No,
hat.
we have to give me a
Just cover it.
full. Let's see, Futurama. It's gotta be.
Yeah, but I
They're
don't know how
gonna
to make a felt. Do you guys know how to make felt hats?
Oh, the internet does. We can look it up.
Hot glue.
Hot glue?
Hot glue.
Sounds like Lindsay's volunteering.
And
Scissors.
determination. And scissors.
Scissors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we get
I
some
think we do
tape
this.
in there?
Let's do it. And then you have to hold it from the inside though, because if you touch the outside, it's gonna be like.
Oh yeah, so you can't touch the outside.
You just don't. You put it on. You leave it on. You don't.
Yeah.
But how do you put it on?
You can make noise between when we're not live. I can.
That's true.
We're not living in that horror world where if the monsters hear you, you die.
Shh, Chet doesn't know. They don't know about the
Crypt
studio
Shadow
goblin.
is saying get a fez.
A fez?
Get a pre-done
And you
hat.
wrap the fez.
and
in
wrap
foil.
the fez in tinfoil.
I guess yeah. We think of tinfoil hats as like having a certain shape, but we don't have to do that.
you can make, yeah, you can still have that classic shape with a fez. That fez is like, it'll be a big hat, but big conspiracies.
Dude,
we gotta make some tinfoil hats.
tinfoil cowboy hat.
Are we bringing Hobtitans back?
I'll be tying this back just to make tinfoil cowboy hats.
Yeah.
Thank you, the trash man.
Thank you. This next question is from Peaches the Destroyer.
What's up?
By the owl, Father, I actually caught a not super late stream. No chance of me falling asleep this time. Winky.
Thanks, Peaches, for learning us real good about Space Wolves.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, not to get into the whole father thing again, but like the way the fact that they look, Allfather is also the name for Odin, right? Which basically is Leman Russ. But what it also does is it kind of sets him apart as like a deity and someone to believe in more than a father figure. So just to kind of support your point, I will say that.
I think like he's a spiritual leader. He's a political leader.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy, but you don't think of him as your father.
You know what I want to do? Can we assign essays in this class?
Assign essays?
We need to do like persuasive essays to like prove these points, and then we can present them to
These
stream.
are verbal arguments. We do it every day. We just don't have to write it down.
No, it needs to be cohesive. Like this would be a good thing to cite. You'd be like, on this date, Peaches the Destroyer makes this point, and according to this
you're
author,
gonna cite a super chat in your essay.
This is a reliable source.
Because I'm gonna pull a high school teacher Wikipedia nonsense. You cannot do that.
What if it's like Peaches is a very reputable source?
Anybody can go in and edit Peaches' super chat.
Wow. Okay, what if
on Wikipedia?
What if I help Peaches the Destroyer get two-factor authentication for their YouTube account?
Sure.
So it's a more reliable source.
And they make a YouTube video about it? Oh yeah, YouTube videos are definitely.
Oh, now YouTube.
That's a reliable source because you had to put in so much work.
Or just listen to anyone on YouTube.
Has to be true. They had to put in all that work. They had to make the video.
That's true. All right.
Believe everything you see on the internet.
We'll do that.
Thanks, Peaches.
Yes, thank you. This next question is from Michael Cody. It's not a question.
Oh.
It's just a funny,
Some of those are
silly little
dots?
image.
Is that a tree for Arbor Day?
It's
Earth Day.
It's a palm tree.
Okay.
And I'm guessing the wind is blowing.
Looks like leaves.
Oh,
and
leaves in the wind.
Coconut from the palm tree falls down and
bumps
hits
his head.
someone on the head.
It's
Oh,
beautiful.
that's a good story.
Yes.
It's a nice story.
It's beautiful, Michael Cody. Thank you.
Is the coconut open?
It is half of a coconut.
Yeah.
It cracked open when it hit their
But
head?
it might not have been open in YouTube chat.
Because
Because I'm telling you, there's 3 different fonts here, and they all have different emoji sets.
That hits them really hard on the head if it cracks the coconut.
When they make the super chat, there's one font, one set of images.
Right.
Then it goes to Discord, where it switches to a different font, different set of images.
That's cool.
And then on screen here, it's a 3rd different
We're basically playing telephone with these.
So on all of them,
Yeah? The coconut's open?
coconut is open.
Okay.
On all of them,
So it's
it's
intended
all
by the
pretty
author.
much the same. Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting.
But,
Okay.
but also, it could be, that's all he had for coconuts.
It's true.
Because if you type in a coconut and you just see a brown ball,
Yeah.
or if
might not.
you yeah,
It's like
Might
something
not
else.
recognize it.
you need to see the inside to recognize
That
a
is
coconut
fascinating,
emoji.
Oh,
It's true.
very nice.
Hit him that hard, cracked open.
Yes. Thank you so much for the wonderful story, Michael Cody.
He's a storyteller.
A poet, really.
Yeah, this is a haiku actually. 1,
Yes.
2, 3. Nope.
Not even close.
Okay. This next question is from Son of Ulrich. Thank you, Son of Ulrich. Let's have some speculative fun.
Yeah.
What do you think they'll do to Black Templars in 10th? Any special detachment
Oh
rules?
yes.
Oh.
We got some
You've
theories.
heard my hot take. They're getting rolled back in. They'll have nothing.
I know, which
That's
is
my
such a
hot take.
hot take. I don't think they're getting rolled back in. And I think that the vows was a pretty failed experiment. And they're going to get rid of pretty much everything. And they might just give them the main vow that they have right now. Like a like a baby transhuman, maybe invulns.
Well, nobody gets chapter tactics. Those are gone. There's an
but
army-wide.
No. The Black Templars will get it.
You think they'll get like a separate book?
They're
They're up there with like Blood Angels and...
yes.
And,
I think they've transcended.
Okay.
I think it's happening.
Are they not Codex compliant officially?
They seem pretty non-codex compliant to me.
Okay.
They're like dragging around pieces of chapels and stuff and like
Yeah, then maybe
shaving
they do
people's
get their own book.
heads and hazing them.
A lot of Space Marines shave heads, so
gone awry.
it's not really.
Not into bowl cuts, they don't.
Not into you know what? The bowl cut is where Gilliman drew the line. He said, if you're doing a bowl cut, you are not by the book.
They're straight up just hazing guys over there. Like, this is not okay.
They give them shirts with sleeves and then they just tear all the sleeves off.
You can earn sleeves when you're a real boy. Just saying, it's pretty divergent behavior there. So that's my hot take. You think they're getting rolled in
Yeah,
and they're
I
going
think
to lose
they're going
Flavor
away,
Flav.
I think when they told us that chapters won't, or that chapter tactics are gone for everybody,
Yeah.
and that what flavor of Space Marine you are won't matter, I see no reason for Black Templars to be separated.
Wow. Wow.
They've only been real boys for like a year and a half.
But they gave them a bunch of new models.
Sure. But
take
that
that
like
back.
Fists have the chin.
Everyone has a character.
Ultramarines has like 5. Ultramarines has more unique models
These are all
than
characters.
Templars.
These are all characters.
No, Ultramarines also have Victrix Guard, Tyrannic War Veterans. Ultramarines have more unique models than Templars. They're getting rolled in, dude. They're going bye-bye.
No.
They're going away.
Still not believing it.
It's gonna happen.
Write me an essay.
Write me an essay.
Come back.
It's just gonna be a list of units.
I want a five-point paragraph essay, persuasive essay, with sources.
How many words, Adrian?
How many words?
I'm just gonna ask ChatGPT to write this.
I'm going to use ChatGPT to tell me if your article is written by ChatGPT.
Ooh, can you do that?
I don't know.
Is it that smart?
I'm going to find out. Submit your homework.
Okay.
Thanks, son of Ulrich.
Thank you. Also, never mind. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Earth Day.
This next question is from Blake Alman.
Oh, we know Blake. Hi,
Thank
Blake.
you. Hello, thank you, Blake. As ninth closes, what were the strongest codexes pre-associated nerfs of ninth? If each fought each other at their strongest, who wins? Members game, eh?
Like, we're 1,000% doing this. It's happening. Yeah. I'm tired of waiting for this concept, and we're making it happen.
I don't know, man.
So soon, it's actually going to happen.
It's gonna be a bad game, though.
It's going to be a funny game.
It's shooty orcs, right? Is there anything in the game they can't table? Was there
Shooty
at any
AdMech.
point? Was there at any point in ninth?
AdMech.
But AdMech, I don't think you would put in contention. Like you
But
could choose
that's
that
the
matchup,
problem.
and then orcs would lose that matchup.
Right.
But that first of all, that's already like a foregone conclusion. We know who wins that.
Yeah.
But secondly, it's only that matchup that I think they would lose. If you put shooty orcs against any other historically strong 9th edition army, they just table them. What else would survive? There was a period where Dark Angels were
Yeah, I was gonna say.
good, but I don't think they were good enough.
Well, here's the thing. You don't.
600 shots.
You and I both know I've played this matchup in Gibraltar, and the Dark Angels played well. Actually, win that matchup.
Did you have the planes?
Mm-hmm. I had everything. Everything.
Interesting.
I think mission determines. Like the mission could be really bad for one person or the other.
Mission determines a lot.
The other thing that if we do this, we'll have to figure out is the Dark Angels. I don't know when they were at their strongest, because sometimes their secondaries have been stronger than other times.
Sure.
But like, SoCal Open at that moment actually was, I think the semifinals was actually Dark Angels versus
Orcs.
and the Orcs just crushed them. But I don't remember like what the situation was, if it was a mission situation or if the secondaries they truly, because there's a lot of secondaries you can score by just sitting there and surviving long enough.
Right.
Which is what Dark Angels can do.
The thing that makes me hesitant about doing a game like this, I think it would be a good video and it would be a bad game. Because
that's possible.
they're mostly rock, paper, scissors matchups where like
Yeah.
one will just crush the other and it's not a game. But it would be a cool video essay of like, let's take all the armies and discuss the different matchups and who wins and loses which matchups.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, so Orcs are definitely up there. Because
Dark
Blake's not actually
Angels.
asking for the top. Who else is up there?
Before you think about that,
Yeah.
there is some issue with some a mic.
Oh.
There's like a buzzing sound.
A
people are
barzing?
saying. There's some sort of mosquito-like noise.
If none of us talk, you should be able to see who has levels on the roadcast.
Well, you want to...
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. That's a thing. Someone move. No? No?
I took this off, which might have fixed it. But also, if you look on the roadcaster, none of us have any levels.
Sometimes it's too subtle.
Too subtle.
Okay, I think I hear it.
Mm,
You?
Is it me?
Is it me?
Wait.
it's me. I'm the problem. It's me.
We changed a lot of things. Hopefully it's fixed.
Yeah. I don't know. It's only when they move.
Trying to cause it.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if that's what isolating.
It's not going to move.
I don't know.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
Orcs, shooty orcs.
Liquefier, Drakari.
Was that?
That's pretty good.
It was dumb. Yeah, it was pretty dumb.
That's pretty dumb.
Liquefier, Drakari. I mean, the problem. Okay, so there was a series of codices.
Mm-hmm.
Like early, Mortarion. He wasn't busted, but he was pretty strong.
He wasn't
When
like
Blood
winning
Angels
much
came
events.
out, they were unstoppable.
Yeah, we famously made a video. Blood Angels, the strongest army.
Unreleased, they kind of were.
They were. Well,
Scoring Necrons. I put Scoring Necrons up there.
scoring Necrons definitely
And
up there.
Scoring Sisters.
Scoring Harlequins. Oh, Void Weaver.
Void Weaver was kind of gross.
Crusher.
Crusher
Custodes.
Stampede.
Tau.
These are. I feel like not all of these are on the same. Like some of these are tier 1 and some of these are tier 0. Like
Yeah.
shooty orcs were tier 0.
Okay.
Like very strong armies had no chance against them.
Yeah. For sure.
Whereas in scoring Necrons, I think it's another tier 0, where it's like if you can't score as well as them, you cannot play the
Yeah.
game.
The Orcs crush the Necrons, though.
Well, yeah, the orcs. I think the problem with doing this is that the orcs crush almost everything.
Yeah.
Because the way that they play is to pick up all of your opponent's models in 2 turns.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, there you go, Blake.
We'll think about it, Blake.
I
We'll
still
think,
want to do it.
we'll think about it.
Bridget thinks it's a bad idea.
I think it's just a bad game.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. So the sound is on my mic.
Oh, it's on your
Oh,
mic.
Yeah.
weird.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oh, yeah, I hear it. Okay, so this next question is from Matthew Powell.
What's up, Matthew Powell?
Thank you, Matthew. My top 3 dads are my dad, Joel from The Last of Us,
that's a good one.
Captain Ray Holt,
Oh.
Ron Burgundy, Greg from SU, and more, but I can't afford a bigger super check.
There's definitely more than 3, too. Those are great.
Wait, is Joel actually? He's not actually a dad.
He is a dad.
He's
They-
like,
well,
he like adopts her, right? He's not actually your dad, is he?
well, he
He's a father
He
figure.
was a dad.
Spiritual dad. He was a dad of somebody else, wasn't he? Didn't his daughter die?
Oh, man.
This is like a whole thing.
Yeah, don't spoil it. Jeez.
Spiritual. This is like the first 5 minutes of the first game. What do you mean spoil it?
It's not a game.
The Last of Us is definitely a game. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but we're all...
The game is like 15 years old. You can spoil games from 15 years ago.
Interesting. That's a little blurry area, I feel like. It's like newly released, so like I feel like it resets the like time period.
No, the first 5 minutes of any piece of media can be spoiled. That's allowed.
Wow, okay.
That's like a trailer for a movie.
That's why I don't watch trailers, because they spoil everything.
Well, but trailers don't.
Especially
trailers
comedies
show
is
you
the
the
worst.
end of the movie sometimes, and it's like, why did you do that? Why would
They
you
show
show
you
me
the
the
end.
end of the movie?
Or if it's comedy, they show you all the best jokes.
They tell you
Literally
only
of them.
all the best jokes.
And you're like, actually, this movie kind of sucks except for those. And now I have no joy from them.
well,
Yeah,
but they got butts and seats.
butts and seats. Joel is really good. Captain Real is pretty good. Also more of a fatherly figure.
Ron Burgundy is not a fatherly figure.
No.
He's a very 70s, not being a dad.
But this is Matthew Powell's idealized dad.
Okay. How does Matthew Powell's dad feel about being put on the same list as these other dads?
It's true. It's true.
I wouldn't want to be on that list,
Right?
to be honest. Joel made some interesting decisions as a father as well. And these would be actual spoilers, but I think I might not even put him on the list. I don't know.
Every time I think of a dad from fictional stories, then I realize there's reasons why I don't think that they're the best dad.
It's hard because characters in stories and people in real life
Yeah.
are flawed and
Right.
make mistakes
Exactly.
and are faced with difficult decisions.
Exactly.
Oh, To Kill a Mockingbird. Who's the dad in To Kill a Mockingbird?
Atticus Finch.
Great
Atticus
dad.
Finch.
Great
Okay,
dad.
There it is.
Great dad.
That's my number 2 dad.
nailed it. Number 3 dad, your actual dad.
No, that was because I was going to reveal it. I'd be like, and number 3 obviously is my dad. But then I couldn't think of number 2, so we got stalled. That's just bad optics. That's all. It's fine.
Thanks, Matthew Powell.
Thank you.
Okay, so this next question is from Peaches.
The Destroyer?
The Destroyer.
Thanks, Peaches.
So I'm starting up my OG dwarfs for Sigmar. Can't stand overlords or fireboys.
Shall we walk out together?
Yeah,
Do you think they'll get around to giving love to OG dwarfs in their own book, or keep them to cities? No, need to start grudging.
So, Warhammer Fantasy is coming back, which means you'll be able to get more models, more OG Dwarf models, because they're going to remake, I think, everything. However, I think they're going to stay in cities. I think all the old fantasy stuff that didn't move over to Sigmar is staying in cities.
Until it goes away forever, I think.
Have they? I feel like they've made statements about that, and I just don't know what they said
Oh,
about things staying around
forever.
or not staying around. Whether Cities of Sigmar was like a patch until they really come up with a solution, or whether it's a patch and they're just going to tear it off and get rid of it.
Heck, I could see them coming up with new dwarfs for cities at this point. Phase out all the old stuff and be like, this is the one dwarf kit.
Right, when they make new models for Warhammer Fantasy,
No,
I feel like they would put those in cities, right?
I don't know. That seems...
I don't think they would do both. I don't think they would make new kits for Warhammer Fantasy and separately make new kits for the same concept in a different game.
Yeah, no, it would be... But it would be the Sigmar modernized version of...
Oh, so you would want to see like normal dwarves as a regular faction.
No, I don't. I think it
In
would be...
Sigmar.
I think it'll still be within cities.
Oh.
Yeah. I agree. I think they're not getting out of cities, personally. Because of the old world.
Yeah.
I think they need to have a more distinct identity. Like, I'm still calling it. I said this years ago and it hasn't come out yet, but I'm still calling it. Sky Goblins is going to be a thing.
Sky Goblins?
Sky Goblins. They talk about them. They're like...
What?
They're like the nemesis of the Caradron overlords. And think about it. It's like the Doom Diver catapult and the other, like, Git Mob guys.
Those are regular goblins they launch into the air, Adrian. Those are not Sky Goblins.
No, but you take... That's what Sigmar does. You take, like, this one weird niche thing and you make a whole army out of it. So Sky Goblins, totally going to be a faction. I'm calling it. There's one blurb in, like, the Caradron book from, like, 2 editions
we
ago.
need a tinfoil hat.
We
definitely need the
Sky
tinfoil
Goblins
hat.
are coming for us, okay?
You're
Be
crazy,
prepared
man.
for it. I'm just saying, you want to get ahead of this.
Start modeling all your Sky Goblins today. 'Cause
Right.
They're going to be hard to get your hands on tomorrow.
Just saying. Yeah.
Well, thanks, Peaches. Hopefully you enjoy Warhammer Fantasy.
We're all going to play it.
Thank you, thank you. This next question is from Magnus Did Nothing Wrong. Not only, thank you, Magnus. Not only, can you put Termies in Dreadclaw, you can put Poxwalkers, thinking of putting them in instead. Is the Death Guard Votann matchup rough?
Yes. Unequivocally, yes. That's a rough matchup.
You can't just stand out in the open?
Nope.
What?
You can't even stand. You can't stand.
Can't stand.
That's rough. You gotta sit down for that match. That's weird that you can put Poxwalkers in Dreadclaw. That feels wrong to me.
Feels like canonically wrong.
Yep. Yep. Feels wrong in like every. You can't put cultists in a Dreadclaw.
They wouldn't survive the impact.
I guess Poxwalkers are already dead. So who cares if you survive the impact?
They'll be like,
They're like broken in half,
like,
but they're already broken in half. So
yeah. That's wackadoodle.
okay. That is wacky. I don't know if I would put them in a. Maybe I would. It's behind that, like, you can put in the corner of the board and your opponent won't care about.
Yeah, it's just a lot of points.
It is a lot of points.
Like, at this point, it could just be some Death Shroud. That's the where I'm struggling with.
Or
this.
Blight Lords. Like, honestly, I like Blight Lords in the Drug Claw. Come down with all their guns. You get a Combi
No, but
Melta,
you could just deep strike them.
Combi Plasma. No, but now you have 2 units behind enemy lines, and they're not going to mess with your Dread Claw because they don't care about it.
So much work.
Now, finding a gap large enough to fit a Dreadclaw and 5 Blight Lords is going to be tough.
It's just...
Maybe I'm back on the Poxwalker train. Put it in the corner, drop them in.
I
Your
guess that
opponent
is
will be
cheaper.
so confused
Yeah.
that you have a Dreadclaw with Poxwalkers in it, they won't know where to screen. They're like, is this in the front, in the back? Where are you dropping this?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's a rough matchup. I wouldn't play that recreationally.
Agreed.
Nice
Thanks,
to see you again, Magnus.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. This next question is from Noah Westergaard.
What's up, Noah?
Thank you, Noah. Hey, TTT. Are y'all going to do another How to Play Each Army video series? That's how I learned how to play 9th. Also, any chance to have one D&D stream?
Noah, you're wise. You're wise beyond your years. I don't know how old you are, but you're wiser than that. A stream, totally feasible.
But you can't just do one D&D stream. That's the problem with...
You never played a one-off?
My one-offs always turn into like 2-month offs.
Really?
Right.
Yeah.
It's hard.
That's funny.
Once you get people going,
Yeah.
they're invested.
I have the
If it's a
opposite problem, which I think is the more common problem for D&D is, oh yeah, we're going to do this campaign, and you do it like once, and then nobody can ever meet again.
I guess I only played when I was like a kid with no responsibilities.
Yeah, that's when I played a lot, for
We
sure.
played degenerately. Like,
Yeah.
we played like 12-hour sessions
Mhm,
every
mhm,
week
mhm.
for months.
Mm-hmm.
So I would struggle to do a one-off, I think.
Oh.
We would put in all that work, set everything up, get like cameras and overlays and write out a campaign and prep everybody, and we get a whole crew together, be like a 7-person stream.
That was way too many people.
Huge stream, 100 people in this
Hundreds
office.
of people.
And then we do it once and we're done?
Yep.
It just doesn't sit right with me. It just doesn't feel good.
Well, you're not invited then.
I'm not invited.
Oh, now you want to be on it.
I want to be in it. I just want to do it more than once. That's what I'm saying. I can't just do it once. You can't just eat one potato chip.
Oh, here we are again.
You gotta eat the whole bag. You gotta finish the campaign. I need closure on this story.
I will say there are better game systems for one-offs than D&D.
Yeah.
And there's ways to make D&D decent for... You're muting yourself?
Lindsay has opinions. She's coming in from
Wait,
the top
wait.
rope.
Opinions, but there's problems with my audio.
That sounds rough.
There's other systems that are easier to do one-offs and stuff. That's all I'll say.
Dang.
She's right.
I'm just saying, it's really hard to commit to a bunch of shows.
I agree. Look,
But I would love to do D&D with y'all.
I agree. That's the problem. I agree with both of these things. So many games were like, man, I would love to play that.
Yeah.
However, there's a mountain of effort between here and there, and a lot of other cool games that we want to do.
I know.
And we have to make these very difficult judgment calls. And,
Right.
you know, there's no correct answer to any of these. We would love to, but we can't make any guarantees. No, I'm sorry.
True.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
As to the How to Play series, probably.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll do something.
Yep.
We have plans for 10th.
We do have plans.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Real quick.
Real quick.
Mel just dropped into chat and wants to let Adrian know
Adrian.
that she made it to Manila safely.
Yay!
Next stop, LAX.
Heck yeah!
Manila is in...
Philippines.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. Where'd you think it was?
I was going to say Spain, which I know is wrong.
That's the clear wrong
I
answer.
knew it was wrong, but that's what I was going to say, and I'm sticking to it. I'm not even embarrassed. I was going to say Spain.
What?
I'm sticking by it.
All right, fair
I
enough.
knew it was wrong,
Yay!
but I think it was okay for me to think that.
I'm so excited. Mel's going to be back in
Oh, he's counting the hours.
22 hours.
Aw.
Jesus.
That's a full day.
I found this on the web.
What is 22 hours from now? That's a pretty easy question.
Found it on the web, though.
Yeah. All right, that's what
Your
happened.
watch needed to look up what the time that is 22 hours from now.
It didn't even just tell me. It actually Googled it. It came up with some weird results. Well. Dang.
It's still going.
What's going on?
Thank you, Siege. Oh, Siege Roots. This is a new one.
question.
This new question is from Siege Roots.
Yeah.
Thank you, Siege Roots. Steadfast example is 6 inches obsec and double obsec. Storm of Fire is 6 inches, 6s to wound in shooting. Add 1 AP. Stand deso to negate the indirect nerve.
Wait a moment.
Yes.
Storm of Fire used to have to do with bolters. Does it not anymore? It's just everything now?
No, it's everything, but I think it's still core locked.
Well, everything on that list was core.
Okay.
There was nothing in the list that wasn't core.
Also, to be clear, yeah, Steadfast is that, but it is a pick one. So
Right.
what we said about that definitely stands.
The fact
stands
that,
true.
yeah, the fact that you get an aura, making your whole army obsec is better than making one thing double
Yep.
obsec.
But are you on board for Storm of Fire now?
Nope.
Well, there you go.
If Gilliman still had full reroll to wound,
Oh, then
which
yeah.
would be busted,
Would be busted.
I'd be on board. But critical wounds, not that common. You just don't roll that many dice as Space Marines. You don't take that many shots.
Yeah.
So I don't love it. I think the obsec
Yeah.
thing is more important.
And I know, and talking about using it for the Desolators, it's like you'll get a couple, but there's so many more things you can be doing with that CP. I think.
You got to value your time, Siege Roots. Honestly, that rule just slows down the game.
Yeah.
The time equity here, it's important. Take care of yourself, and don't use additional rules that are unnecessary and slow down the game to almost zero benefit. Just take the obsec.
Harsh but fair.
Yeah.
In Rights of War.
Yeah, right. Thanks, Siege Roots.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. This next question is from 2 Eggs Scrambled.
hello.
Thank you, Mr. Scrambled. Hey Titans, as an orc player, I really want Gaz's WAG to be better than normal. Not enough to make him auto-include, and normal war bosses can call both, maybe? Also, any ideas on attachments for them as well?
Oh yeah, this is an amazing question. Thank you, 2 Eggs Scrambled. Ooh. So
I mean, he already has the double wah. He has a wah for both sides.
Yeah.
So his wah is better.
yeah,
But like, I think we're making a lot of assumptions. If we're talking about 10th, we're making a lot of assumptions.
yeah. That's why I'm thinking through this. Like, are we happy with how WoW works right now?
That's a you question. That's not a. I haven't
Are
wad
we happy with
I haven't
it?
wad in my life, sir.
I'm pretty happy with it. The way that it ended up by the end of the edition.
Okay.
Advanced. I would
The
maybe
invuln?
like.
You like the invuln?
I love the invuln is essential.
Yep.
The WoW was not that amazing before that. So the invuln is essential. The advanced and charge is essential. The rest is good, but actually not as essential. It is great. +1 attack's amazing, but without the other two, it literally does. It's useless.
It used to be +1 attack used to feel more impactful.
Yeah.
But it does not anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Well, especially when you'd have 100 boys. You just don't run that anymore. You don't.
And you're certainly not getting 100 boys in the combat anymore.
Exactly. Oh man, when they run the small bases. So I'm happy with it. I want Speedwa to be redesigned to be better. I actually almost want to get rid of the Speedwa entirely, to be honest.
Yep.
It doesn't make sense.
It was new, right? That was like a new thing
It's a
they
new
made up
thing,
in 9th.
yeah.
And
The concept is cool, but the problem is they have directly correlated Speedwa with shooting,
Right.
which it shouldn't be a thing.
Shouldn't.
You almost like would want 3 types of
Should
wah.
be
Like,
about going fast.
yeah,
Should
like
give you bonuses to charge, not shoot
yeah,
good. Like shoot good does not
shoot good.
make any sense to me for
No,
Speedwall.
it's a different type of wah, like a Daka wah or something. At this point, we might as well just consolidate them all into one, and maybe Gaz gets an extra attack on everything, but you're paying for him. You know, like think we need to make sure that, like, yeah, his wah should be better, but he's gonna really cost your army, and really you have to build your army around him. I think that should be the way it runs, absolutely. So, yeah, detachment-wise,
It's really hard to say because we haven't seen any detachments fully yet. We don't know what the shape of a detachment is.
we haven't seen, especially haven't seen like different detachments within an army. So we've seen like, what do they call it? Like the Gladiates Strike Force or something,
Something like that, yeah.
and that gives you like Oath of Moment, which is the reroll. Pick one.
No,
reroll.
everything has Oath of Moment. Space Marines have Oath of Moment. Gladius, we don't know what the detachment does.
No. One of the first things it did said something about what it does, like gives you Oath of Moment, or
No, Oath of Moment is the army ability for Space Marines, for sure. All Space Marines pick a thing and reroll hits and wounds against it, army-wide. We saw an Eldar. We saw somebody else's detachment ability,
yeah.
and everybody was like, wait, the Space Marines one is way better.
Oh, it's Tyranids.
But it's because one of them, right, we saw Tyranids, one of
Yeah.
the detachment abilities, which was the symbiotic mutations or whatever you pick
Yeah.
from your list of mutations.
Yeah, that's right.
Detachment abilities appear to be a lot more tame. I'm sure there will be like a default, like a kind of generic-y one.
Yes.
It's like just play the army like the army.
Yeah.
And then I'm hoping there will be specialized ones where you have list building restrictions, where it's like, I'm going to have a mech party.
Yeah, like
all
tin
the-
heads will be a thing.
Right, yeah, exactly.
You know.
Or like a biker gang
Mhm.
or foot boys. You can't take any
Bikes.
bikes or mechs. You can't have the other things that we just said.
But that is kind of how it's likely to be, right? It's like locking off portions of the book. Just like look at the World Eaters book, where you have the Red Angels and we have the regular spread. The Red Angels, you can only take demons, and that cuts off a lot of the army. And so you can look at how each of these armies can kind of be chunked out. You know, maybe we'll see like a Phobos one for Space Marines, and then it'll give extra
Ooh.
bonuses there. That
Oh,
makes
really?
Reavers
Yeah.
actually really good. So I think it'll be something like that.
I hope they make Phobos good.
They're
It's
just
too
cool.
constricted. They had the Sisters of Silence problem where it's like, how do you deal with anything big ever?
Yeah.
They need that. But
Yeah.
we need. I think that's what the Invictor was supposed to be, and it wasn't.
The Infiltrators are the best designed Phobos unit,
Yep.
and we see them everywhere
Mm-hmm.
because they perform a role that nothing else in the army can do, and it works whether or not you're dedicated to the sneaky strategy. So we need more of that.
Thanks,
you
2
so
eggs.
much.
Scrambled.
Thanks,
Yeah,
too.
Gotta have the scrambled in there.
It's important.
Because it could be 2 eggs over easy. Could be 2 eggs
On
that
toast.
Ooh,
yeah,
that's
on
true.
toast. It could be 2 eggs. I don't know.
Hard boiled.
Hard boiled. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the last super chat.
Oh, we did it.
Yeah, that was it.
In it.
An amazing, good talk. Hopefully, you're all having a lovely day, whatever time or place it is. And look, we have a lot of stuff coming up on the channel. Definitely join us next week. We've got 40k, we've got Sigmar, we've got more 40k. It's gonna be great.
Next Sunday we got MCP. I still haven't decided what we're doing.
Oh, I wasn't sure if it was next Sunday. Yeah.
Next Sunday, so not tomorrow.
Ooh.
8 days from now we have MCP again.
Mm-mm-mm.
I was told not to do the ultimate encounter. That it's gonna be too hard for the players.
Oh. Interesting.
So I'll come up with something.
Okay. That sounds super exciting. Honestly, thank you all so much for joining us, for supporting us. We greatly appreciate it. Be kind to each other. Happy Earth Day, everybody.
Happy Earth Day. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Arbor Day. We'll catch you next time.
Happy Daddy Day.
Happy Day on the tabletop.
Bye.